Um, Hi everyone, I am Abdelrahman Mahmoud, the TI, targeted individual. For those who don't know what targeted individual is, it's basically people who are being exposed to non-consensual governmental experimentation. Basically, this is carried out by corporate agents, corporate firms, private corporate firms that work with the government alongside probably community policing, MI5. It could be all the above working together. I'm not sure exactly, but I'm 100% sure that the MI5 is involved because the MI5 is supposed to protect us against things like these, and the police are supposed to protect us. I tried to contact the police, and I went over to the police and I tried to report this crime, this torture. Uh, I've been, I've been, I was being subjected to electronic harassment for over a year and a half now, since my father passed away. Almost since it started, around the time when my father is ill. You guys can refer to my other videos. This is probably the last video I'm making, and the reason why I'm making this video is because I am gonna get myself arrested for any reason. I'll go to the police station and I'll refuse to budge. And I thought about it. I'm not gonna. I would never do anything stupid. I don't want to become a Manchurian candidate. I wouldn't kill or harm anybody, even though these people are trying to push me over the edge. And if it was anybody else, probably they would go over the edge, or they would just go insane. I'm trying not to go insane. The reason why um, I decided to skip I had all these long list and all these notes of things to do and ways to raise awareness, but I realized that the corruption of these governmental agencies and their sphere of influence is so large. Basically, they are using kids to stalk people, not only like literally little kids to say stuff to you, and they're using young adults, teenagers, they're using 20 plus, even like 30 plus, and even older people. So for example, this all started with my Romanian neighbor harassing me, the one who lives there. And the reason why I'm showing you this because I want people to know who are responsible for my harassment. By the way, I have nothing to hide. I live in 45 Bruce Grove, and I live with my family, and I would not like my family to be subjected to harassment because I am being subjected to harassment. But I want people to know that I am suffering from this, and these people that live right behind me, Romanians, and there's English people that live right after them. These English people moved in. After they moved in, my harassment started. This English couple, and I'm 100% sure they work for the MI5 or the community policing or these whatever firm, whoever's doing this. Basically, they work with alongside my other neighbor. There's English couple that live right beside me on the left hand side. I think it's in 46 or 47. They are also involved, and for reasons for it's long basically to get into all the things they've done, but the reason why I know that these people are involved is because I tried to confront them, and without saying their name, I just opened my window and I just told them to come out and confront me, and I didn't say no names. It was nighttime. Like, imagine their house is closed. Like, they don't know who I'm talking about. I haven't mentioned names. And when I came out, the same guy that I heard his voice and his friend came out to confront me, to talk to me basically. So these people knew I was talking about them, and they came out and they denied it, and they laughed, like in a way. Basically, they taken the piss to just deny everything. um, when it comes to the English couple, the old English couple that lived over here, one time my mother was sending me to buy some groceries, and during my harassment, and I could hear them, I could hear the lady telling her husband, I want to see this guy's face, and basically when I was coming back from the shop, I met this woman. I saw her on the road, literally, and she just gave me this look, like she looked me straight in the eyes, as if exactly, she's telling me, yes, I'm one of them. Also, my friend who lives he lives in Maze Road. Uh, I think his upstairs neighbors is a Jamaican, a man. I think he claims to be a DJ, and he has one eye and he has like really long nails. I don't know. He tried to say he's Freemason once, using voice to skull technology and stuff like that. But I don't know who's Freemason, who's not, and I can't say. All I know is that when you have this type of technology and you're using it to abuse people for over a year, and possibly, these people have been watching me since 2014. I don't know, God knows. Then probably, like probably trying to misguide me or trying to make me confused so that I can really believe in those other conspiracy theories. I know that Freemason exists, but I wouldn't think that Freemason would waste their time, you know, especially the ones that are directly, the Masons directly would waste their time to just harass and stalk a normal, innocent citizen. Anyways, also, the reason why I'm saying I've been harassed since 2014 is because I suffer, like I explained in my other video. Please refer to my other three videos that I made, you know, especially the first one where I'm telling the story of, how I think I got the implants or these nano chips that don't show in normal scans, like commercial scans or whatever, is because I tried to go for hyperhidrosis operation, like a surgery procedure where they inject you with the Botox, and they basically gave me this form, and this form basically talks about, do I worry about what other people think of me, and do I worry about if people have an unfavorable impression of me? Am I frequently afraid of other people noticing my shortcomings? Am I afraid of other people approving of me? All this does not have to do, look, and you have to pick from not at all to extremely. And all this stuff doesn't have anything to do with my sweating. The reason why I wanted to stop my hands sweating is because it slowed me down during my studies, like imagine I'm in the library and it's winter time and they overheat these buildings, so I would literally my hands would drip sweat because I can't keep up with everyone else. I can't study inside, and outside is really cold, inside is really hot. So I just wanted to stop the sweat, and so that I can be able to study and do stuff, with my life. And after a long wait, after a year and a half almost, and by the way, the doctor that referred me, it's called Dejuan Tan. She works in a Philippine surgery. I'm not sure if she's involved or not. I have no idea. But the doctor who done the procedure, his name is Dr. Daryl Baker. He's a vascular surgery, surgeons. And anyways, this man, he was very rude when he even asked me when I first went to him before we done the procedure, and he asked me these same questions, these weird questions that don't have anything to do with, what I'm going through. I'm just, it's not that I don't want to get rid of my sweat because I'm embarrassed. I want to get rid of my sweat to be to be able to use, my hands much quicker, to be able not to stop and just wipe my hands all the time. Anyways, that was back in 2014. Shortly after I done the procedure, uh, I had pain on my left side. I don't know what it caused. I had like this really severe pain on my left arm, which I don't know what caused it. And now I'm thinking it could be probably microwave, being exposed to microwave radiation on my right side, sorry. And I called. I saw on the BBC that the same time they started the 111 service. So I didn't want to go to the emergency room. I called the 111 service and I explained to them my symptoms, and basically what they did was they sent the ambulance. They were like, "Oh, we don't know, what's going on," and they sent the ambulance. And when the ambulance came, they were like, "Oh, there's nothing." And funny enough, after the ambulance came, the pain just went away. And when the pain went away, what happened was a few days later, my GP sent me a letter telling me to come over, and I didn't know why. And when I went over, uh, Dr. Rohan, which is Dr. Rohan surgery, I went to the GP, and I'm waiting in the queue. When it was my turn, I went to him and he was like, "What's wrong? How you feeling today?" I was like, "I'm okay." And he was like, "Okay, how can I help you?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, I don't know. You guys sent me a letter to tell me to come." And he was like, "You don't know," and he got really rude to me, like as if I was wasting his time. He was like, "Okay, go to the administration, go see, why you're here." So I went to the administration lady, and then when I told her my name, she all of a sudden became very interested in me. Like, she was like, "Oh, sorry, come, come." And straight away, I didn't have to wait for another patient. She took me straight away to the doctor, and she told him who I am. She was like, "Oh, this is the patient that, like this is Abdulrahman Mahmoud, the patient." And then I don't know, she told him something, and he all of a sudden he became interested. He was like, "Oh, sorry, sit down, sit down." He was like, "I need to tell you that we breached your privacy. We gave your information to third parties." He didn't tell me who third parties, but he told me it was by mistake. And he told me what happened was the first five people who called 111, basically all of them, their information has been given to third parties. He said those third parties were doctors. So I don't know who doctors, and I thought it was by mistake. I didn't really think anything of it. So I thought maybe he doesn't want me to sue him for breaching my privacy. And he was like, we gave your name and your details and your medical history, blah blah blah. So I thought he didn't want me, to, he didn't want to get sued, so he wanted to cover his ass. So I was like, okay, no problem. He was like, you just need to sign this paper, and I swear I didn't read the paper. I just signed it because I was thinking, hey, this is my GP. Like, like I didn't have any trust issues back then. Before all this targeting started. I signed the paper. Things moved on. 2015, around the same time, my father was in a coma, and like a few days before he passed away, like my harassment started, and through my neighbor, started with my Romanian neighbor that kept calling me ISIS and kept calling me names, and then by the English neighbors that kept calling me ISIS, kept calling me all these names, and kept dissing me, and then uh, after that, I realized, when I go outside and meet up with my friends, I became traumatized and I actually went to the emergency room twice for panic attacks. And I realized, after I went to the emergency room, my father passed away and I was going through a very hard time. But these people did not stop there. They actually escalated it to stalking me overtly on the street. They sent this young women, like young adults, like 20 something, you know, one is blonde, one is brunette, and they're wearing glasses, and they texting and they just follow me everywhere. And I could tell these people were following me, and because they made it sure it was overt stalking. They didn't keep the distance. So for example, I went to Subway with my friend. They came in and they weren't even ordering food. They were just there next to me, looking at me, and then texting on their phone, then looking at me, just making sure that I see them, that they're stalking me. uh, I later found out that these people, like these girls, they were working very closely with a lot of people from the LGBT community, basically gays. And these gays, a lot of them, they hang out in Duke of Edinburgh pub in Wood Green. If you guys know where that is, in Wood Green near the job centre, Duke of Edinburgh pub.